Now let's start by implementing our first endpoint, which is registering or creating a new account. So first of all, I will remove this endpoint here, and during the course I will follow the single action classes or controllers. So I will say here PHP artisan make controller, and I will say register controller here, controller, and I want to be under authentication folder, authentication. Now create our controller, and here it's generated, but I want to make it invocable, so I will say function invoke here to create single action class, and I will create a new validation form request, make request, and register request, and I will use it here, register request, and our request here, and I will open it to add our rules, right? By default it must be true here. And first of all, as we can see in our database inside users table, we have name, email, and password, right? And I want to say name, it will be required with minimum 3 characters as a string also, right? And then email, it should be emailed here, required also email, and it must be unique in our database. As you can see, I have this extension which is called Laravel Extra Intelligence. It's completely free, that helps us to auto-complete validation roles and other features. Here you can install it. Here is the name, Laravel Extra Intelligence, right? And I want to say it must be unique, users table, email column, and don't accept anything here, right? Also, please send the password, must be required also, and must be confirmed, which means we must also attach password confirmation key in our request. Now let's use it by dd request validated to return only the validated keys, not all. Don't use all, because this is a bad practice actually. Use it only for debugging or for testing. And now I will create my root. So I will say root middleware here. I want to use guest middleware for sanctum driver here, and I will say group function. I will use it for both login and sign up. So root here, post and register here. Then I will call our class, because this is invocable class or only has one method class. I will use the name directly. So here, use the name, call it class. By the way, we called our class here. I will remove this unnecessary comment. Here's our class has been imported here. Now let's try it in Postman. So I will create a new endpoint. It's called sign up or register. Let's make it register. And our endpoint is register here. So it must be API/register, right? And in our body, I will send email. Here is our email that we want to create. For example, admin@mail.com. Password will be password. And for confirmation, I will send the password confirmation here. Confirmation, right? The same password, right? Now let's try it. And also in the header, we need to make it accept JSON only, accept application/JSON only, to return JSON instead of page like this here. So now when I try it, I will receive this error. Now name field is required, right? So I will add name here, name Ahmed, for example, send the request. Now it passed to our controller, right? The DD comes from register controller here. And what if I remove this or manipulate the incorrect password? As we can see, password field confirmation doesn't match, right? So now it's okay. After success, I want to say here user, here user model, and I will say create request validated, right? After creating this user, I will say token user create token, and token name will be signup token, right? Or whatever you want, and expires at, as we learned from the previous lesson, expires at will be after year, for example, add year, right? So the generated token will be valid for 1 year. Then I will return here response JSON. I want to say compact user and token, but don't forget we need to get the plain text token. So here plain text, or what was called inside our has API token trait, what is the name of the property? It was calling, yes, plain text token here. Then I will return the user object and also the token as string, right? Now let's try to sign up or creating a new account. As we can see here, we have user and token, right? But because we will also return the same data after logging in, we need to create a resource actually to make our code cleaner. So I will say here PHP artisan make resource authentication resource to return the user and the token make here. Now our resource has been generated. If we open it here under resources, app resources, authentication resource here, it must return an array. So I will say here user, this user, and token, this token, right? Now let's make use of this resource here. I will remove these comments and let's use it inside our controller. So I will say here return authentication resource make, right? And I will say here compact user and token, right here. Now let's try to send the request. The email is already token. Okay, I will try with another email. The user on array, okay, because we pass an array for our resource. I will say here instead of object it will be user, and also same for token. Let's retry with another email. Now we have the same data here. But if you see it, we don't need the created at and updated at here for now. So I will say return only the name, email, and ID for the user. So we can say here only, because there's difference collection, name, email, ID. Now let's search again with another email. Okay, because this is converted to array here, I will make it under here. So user will be user only, ID, email, and name. Try to send the request again. And as we can see, it returns data and the user here, name, email, and ID, and then the token that's generated. And also, if you noticed, it's also the tokens has been created in our database here with sign up token and everything works correctly. And also the expires at will be after 1 week from now. Here's quickly the sign up. See you in next video.